Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on Crumpton News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
Good to have you here today. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight with a developing story out of Gonzaga. As we first announced yesterday, athletic director Mike Roth is retiring, and today he made it official in person, effective on August 31st.
Brenna Green and Karthik Venkatraman join us live from Gonzaga tonight to talk about a busy day for Gonzaga athletics.
Yeah, Tom, Whitney, we didn't know that this retirement presser would also turn into an introductory presser today. Gonzaga announcing that Deputy AD, Gonzaga alum and Spokane native Chris Standiford will become the new athletic director at the school. Karthik, you're going to have more on that in just a second, right?
I will. We're going to have some sound from him here in a bit, and I'll tell you a little more about him. But first, talk
awesome.
about Mike Roth.
Yeah, Mike Roth. Yeah, we do have some things to talk about in terms of Mike Roth. Roth told the media today that this has been something going on for about 18 months. He actually sat down with Thane McCullough before the pandemic started and said he was ready to retire. Of course, there are a lot of steps that have to go on over the next 2 months to get to that retirement point, but he also is going to stay on with Gonzaga Athletics for the next few years to help support and grow Gonzaga Athletics programs just in a new role. Roth kept coming back to the word gratitude today and was very introspective about his time at GU.
If what I did as athletic director had a positive impact on even just one person, then I was successful. And hopefully it was more than one. And it wasn't because I was trying to make an impact as much as I was just trying to do the right thing.
We'll have more with my one-on-one interview with Mike Roth tonight at 5, 6, 10, and 11.
And as we mentioned, as Roth retires, he has a new successor coming in. It's going to be Chris Standiford, the director at the deputy athletic director, rather, who's a Spokane native. He was a Gonzaga alum. He's been with the school since 1993, but in his most recent position as deputy AD since 2015. Now, he's got some high praise from a lot of people today. President Thane McCullough, AD Mike Roth, and then coaches were all speaking so highly of him. And boy, is Standiford ready to take on and lead this program into the future and to new heights.
It's awesome. It's just, it's thrilling, I think would be the word I would use. Just feels like I'm just blessed and thankful that I get to continue to do what we've been doing with an amazing group of people that are super talented and give me a ton of confidence. Graciously accepted.
And as we said, Standiford is going to be the new athletic director as of August 31st when Roth steps down. Seems very excited. We'll have more from him once again in the 5, 6, 10, and 11. You can hear just how excited he is.
Yeah, a very energetic day at GU, especially for June, when normally there isn't any athletics going on.
That's what we thought for sure.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago, we're like, well, June's going to be so boring. Not so fast.
Yeah, Gonzaga's got us. All right, reporting live outside of the McCarthy Athletic Center, I'm Brenna Green. He's Karthik Venkatraman. Back to you.
always making room for excitement from Gonzaga, right?
Absolutely. A great observation on their part. Well, for the last 2 decades, Gonzaga's been riding a wave of success within their athletic programs, but you have to think back to the mid to late 90s. The school was struggling to attract new students, and their basketball program was worlds away from playing for a national title.
Hard to imagine, but a few people have played a bigger role in changing that than Mike Roth. And Creme 2's Mark Hanrahan is now live in the newsroom with a look back at Roth's tenure at GU. Hi, Mark.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Just to give you an idea of how long Roth's been at Gonzaga, he first came to the school when Ronald Reagan was the president. Survivor's Eye of the Tiger was one of the nation's top hits, and North Carolina State just beat Houston to win the NCAA National Championship. Been there for a while. He first came to the school back in the 82-83 season as an assistant basketball coach. Then he left to pursue other coaching opportunities before returning to the school in 1987 as the assistant athletic director, a position he held for 10 years. In 97, he was named acting AD. The following year, he was named director of athletics. In the 24 years that followed, Roth oversaw skyrocketing success in sports. The men's basketball team has been to 22 consecutive NCAA tournaments. They played in 2 national championship games in the past 5 years under head coach Mark Few, who, by the way, Roth hired. Roth also hired former women's basketball coach coach Kelly Graves and current head basketball coach Lisa Fortier. During his tenure at GU, the women's team has been to a dozen NCAA tournaments and qualified for the Elite Eight in 2011. Beyond basketball, GU's men's and women's soccer teams have also made NCAA tournament appearances. Rowing, baseball, golf, and cross country also earned trips to the tournament, with Roth overseeing athletics. Safe to say, he is leaving the school and the athletic programs in a far better place than he found them back in the early 80s. We'll have much more on his impact coming up on KREM 2 News at 6 tonight. Back to you guys.
Certainly big shoes to fill, and we'll have continuing coverage as this story continues to develop. All right, let's talk a little bit about weather. Today turned out a little bit nicer, but cloudy, more cloudy than I maybe expected.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I thought a lot of the cloud cover would move out of the area. At the same time, we did warm up. Yesterday, we only had a high of 63. I thought we'd get up into the low 70s today. We're at 71. So, yeah, we got the warmer temperatures, which was actually nice to see. All week long, we'll look for temperatures in the low 70s this week. Best chance of rain looks like it's going to be Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday, about a 40% chance of showers, and then Thursday, maybe about a 20% chance of showers. We'll look for 70s and low 80s over the weekend, and then temperatures in the 80s for much of next week. 69 degrees, that's the official temperature out at the airport. Here at our South Hill location, you can see we're at 71. Winds are calm. We are seeing some rain now in northeastern Washington, along the Cascades, and also into areas of western Montana. There's a closer view of that line of showers that, again, it's in western Montana. So not anything happening here locally. It'll be breezy tonight, and with an overnight low of 50. Cloudy tomorrow, winds maybe gusting up to 20 miles an hour. I've got showers, a better chance of them, though, in northeastern Washington and northern Idaho. Even some thunderstorms possible in western Montana. We'll look for a daytime high of 70. 77 expected on Saturday, 82 maybe the daytime high on Sunday. So any rain we get will be much needed as we start heading into some warmer weather.
Looking forward to that, Tom. Thank you very much. And another big story that we are tracking at this hour, the investigation continues after 3 people died yesterday in a head-on collision involving a car and a fire engine on Highway 395 near Loon Lake.
Yeah, Washington State Patrol is asking for any witnesses to that crash to contact them. Stevens County Fire District 1 Chief Mike Busey says the 2 firefighters involved in the crash were treated and released from the hospital last night. The driver suffered a broken wrist, and the passenger of that fire engine is expected to be okay. The Stevens County Coroner's Office has not yet identified all 3 victims in the car who did die on the scene. The crash happened on Highway 395 near Grote Road intersection. Chief Busey says that area has a history of crashes in both cold and warm weather months.
But we've had a lot of critical accidents at the Grote Road 395 intersection on perfectly beautiful days as well. And it's not a busy intersection. So I don't know if it's the downslope of 395 there, coupled with the railroad trestle, and northbound it splits into a passing lane. So there's a lot of factors there that may account for a little bit.
Now, Chief Busey says Engine 2 was headed to a medical call at the time with lights and sirens on. He also adds it was traveling at highway speeds. Washington State Patrol detectives are still investigating tonight. And at 5 coming up tonight, KREM 2's Amanda Rowley will share if there are any other safety concerns for that area where that crash happened.
Well, today, Washington drew the first winners of the state's Shot of a Lifetime COVID-19 vaccine lottery. So, coming up after the break, what prizes are up for grabs for people in the state of Washington who are vaccinated?